You hear it all the time, right? Just think positive. But today, we're going to cut right through all the motivational fluff and get to the hard science. We're going to look at the actual scientific proof that your thoughts, your thoughts can physically change the structure and function of your brain. We're moving way past just nice ideas and into real neuroscience. So that brings us to the big question. Can just thinking positive thoughts really, truly rewire that incredible supercomputer you have in your skull? Or is it all just, wishful thinking? Well, I gotta tell you, the research might just surprise you. And to really get it, we need to start with the fundamental principle of how our brains change in the first place. See, to understand how this all works, we first have to get on board with one core concept. Your brain is not some fixed, static organ. Not at all. It's actually constantly changing, adapting, and rewiring itself throughout your entire life. And this incredible ability to change has a name: neuroplasticity. It's the reason you can learn a new language, or pick up a new skill, or form new memories. It's even how the brain can recover from injuries. So, you know that old saying, you can't teach an old dog new tricks? Yeah, neuroplasticity completely debunks that. Scientifically, you absolutely can. It just takes a little intentional practice. Now, this simple phrase, it's probably the most famous in all of neurology, and honestly, it holds the key to everything we're talking about today. Every time you have a thought, your brain cells, your neurons, fire a little electrical signal. Now, if you repeat that thought, the same neurons fire again and again, strengthening their connection. They literally wire together. It's like carving a path in a forest. The more you walk it, the clearer it becomes. And we can see this principle in action everywhere. I mean, studies of musicians show that learning to play the piano literally develops and beefs up the parts of their brain responsible for music. Or get this, the brains of London taxi drivers physically change as they memorize that city's insane labyrinth of streets. So here's the big leap. If this works for skills like music and memorization, it also works for our internal patterns of thought. But here's the catch, and this is really important. Neuroplasticity is neutral. It doesn't care if your habits are good for you or bad for you. It just reinforces whatever you do repeatedly. And that means it can create either a powerful workout for your brain or it can dig a really, really deep rut. Think of it like this. On one side, you've got the brain workout. When you consciously practice positive thinking, you're building brand new, strong neural pathways. And over time, this makes it easier and more efficient to access positive emotions. But on the other side, there's the brain rut. Repetitive negative thinking just deepens the pathways you already have, making those thoughts automatic, unconscious, and incredibly hard to break. It's not a character flaw, it's just a habit the brain has learned really, really well. But here's the most powerful part of this whole thing. This means that with intention, you can consciously build new, positive pathways that actively disrupt and weaken the old negative ones. It means you are not stuck. You have the ability to change the script. Okay, so that's the theory. It all sounds good, right? But you're probably thinking, okay, that's cool, but where is the actual proof? Well, get ready. We're about to look at the studies that show exactly what's happening inside the brain when we do this. So, brain scans, neuroimaging studies show actual, tangible changes. Practices like mindfulness and positive thinking fire up your prefrontal cortex. Think of this as your brain's CEO, the part in charge of good decision-making and impulse control. At the exact same time, they quiet down the amygdala, which is your brain's reactive little fear center. And even crazier, people who practice this stuff regularly show greater gray matter density, more brain tissue, in areas linked to emotional control. These are physical, measurable changes. And it doesn't stop there. This mental workout also changes your brain's entire chemical cocktail. It boosts the production of neurotransmitters like dopamine and serotonin, the ones linked to feelings of happiness and well-being. It sharpens cognitive functions like your problem-solving abilities. And, maybe most importantly, it actually lowers your levels of cortisol, the body's primary stress hormone. Now, this is where it gets really incredible. The benefits actually spill over from your mind into your body. Research has shown that a more positive mindset can lead to things like reduced physical inflammation and even better cardiovascular health. It is a powerful scientific demonstration of that mind-body connection we hear so much about. Okay, so we've seen the science. The evidence is pretty compelling. The next logical question has to be, how do we actually do this, right? So let's get practical. Let's build a daily routine with an actionable toolkit. Here are 5 simple, science-backed exercises you can build into your day, starting now. 1. Practice gratitude. Every morning, just write down 3 things you're grateful for. This trains your brain to start searching for what's right instead of what's wrong. 2. Use positive affirmations. Repeating statements like, I am capable, helps you literally rewrite your automatic inner narrative. 3. Surround yourself with positivity. Be intentional about who you spend time with. And 4. Practice mindfulness. This isn't about stopping your thoughts. It's about observing them without judgment, so you can finally see your own patterns. And lastly, number 5, challenge negative self-talk. The moment you catch that negative thought, actively counter it with 3 positive, true ones.
And look, it's so important to remember this is not a magic bullet. It's a process. You're not going to wake up tomorrow a completely different person. This is about building a new habit, like going to the gym. And consistent practice, even when it's not perfect, especially when it's not perfect, is what really rewires your brain for the long haul.
So the science is clear. Your brain is not just a passive observer. It's ready and waiting for your instructions. So the only question left is, what new neural pathway will you start building today?